Your family and friends that are here for you today. Don't forget to look up. Okay, turn back around. Wait, but before you sit down, I do want you to look at all of this faculty and staff at Polaris, and why don't you give them a round of applause too. Okay, you can sit down. That was a nice little stretch, right? Okay. We gotta chunk things. While we're acknowledging teachers, Scott, 30 years, it's a long time. I don't know how many of you know this, but this last month we've had a teacher who hasn't been able to be in our building, and Scott, during his prep, his last month of prep, where teachers get Diet Cokes, they grade your papers, maybe they take little naps, but it's their time to regroup. Scott hasn't. He has faithfully gone into a classroom and taught. There's nothing casual about Scott, and Scott, we're thankful for you. Not a complaint, not an issue. John Meyer has had a special class at Polaris the last few years. This next year, they're gonna move to American Fork. We will miss John and Caden and his students. If there's an incident, or any day of the week, John's there before us. We appreciate John's consistency and ability to just show up. Also Mike, our assistant principal. PDs, meetings, anything I think of, he's already done it. And he's already ordered things on Amazon. He's already made brochures. We had Teacher Appreciation Week, and before I knew it, there was a flight scarf and a badge and a hat. And before I knew it, I was walking the halls as a flight attendant, because that's how Mike does the work. He just does it well. Graduates, I know it's your day, but there's been something on my mind. Steps. I've been thinking a lot about steps. Many of you know I have a little girl who also attends Polaris. She's one. She has not taken her first steps, but she wants to. She can stand up on her own and mostly just balances. Sometimes she claps for herself. She has to hold on to everything as she moves around the room. Also, she looks around the room for any adults to celebrate her. And don't worry, I spend most of my time doing that, waiting for her to take her steps. The thing is, taking steps feels big for a 1-year-old. But graduates, you don't think about that. Every day you step. Because we step so often and so naturally, most of the time we forget about it. We don't acknowledge it, we just do it. I want you to know every day I have watched you step. Not to be creepy, but did you know when you get here in the morning, it takes 71 steps from the bus, when you step off the bus, to go to the media center and pick up a Chromebook from Robbie. Also, did you know it's 216 steps to do one loop around the school? You know, the extra one you do after the music stops before you actually go to class. Some of you know that it's 78 very slow steps from the main bathrooms to Rick and Mike's office. Some of you had to do those steps, some of you more than once. And did you know that after you grab lunch from Shelly, it's 213 steps to the farthest parking spots in the parking lot? You know, the ones right before the blue off the campus ones, but the ones far enough that you can have peace at lunch. I know this because I've counted those steps. Can I share with you some other steps I have watched you make? Forward steps, passing classes, some of you for the first time ever. Building healthy relationships, talking to a teacher or counselor or Linda or any adult about a friend or a family member or yourself. Showing up to school every day. Okay, most of the days. Shout out to the 5:53 a.m. bus getter honors. That's something I couldn't have ever done. Participating on Titan Council, hiking Stewart Falls, the Ninja Gym, Cupcake Wars, chemistry labs, expressive art, creating healthy boundaries, attending Sundance Film Festival, Thursday service in the Media Center, sharing your talents, open mic, Fiddler on the Roof, building tiny houses, regulating in the Zen Den, completing 1 packet, or 8 packets, or a record-breaking 37 packets to graduate a year early. The hardest times about my job was I had to watch some of you misstep. Substance abuse, anger that escalated to physical, verbal, or emotional violence, engaging in relationships or habits that were unhealthy and life-sucking instead of life-giving, visiting Taco Bell. It's definitely off campus, although it's definitely in our parking lot. Or just getting caught up in teenage nonsense. The thing is, I have also watched every single one of you stair step and sidestep as you have come across barriers, inclines, and trenches. I have watched you climb and claw and maneuver to get over, around, and through. Some of you have had additional or untraditional family responsibilities. Some of you experience school learning in your second or third language. Some of you are working full-time jobs. Some of you are healing. Some of you have children. Some of you are fighting for your sobriety. Some of you are fighting for your mental health. Every day, you step, 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 step. Today, did you know that it's going to be 14 steps from there to here? Well, I will hand you your diploma. This year's graduation theme is Great Things Are Done by a Series of Small Things Brought Together by Vincent van Gogh. I want you to think for a minute of your series of small steps. The forward ones, the misstep ones, the incline, the side steps. 12 years of steps have brought you today to your high school graduation. That is a great thing. Today we celebrate a great thing. Gabby Gomez, one of our seniors who painted her own rendition of Van Gogh's Starry Night. Yes, if you haven't seen it, it's out there and it is beautiful. She said, "The graduated students are represented by the stars of the night, creating a sky of possibilities. From your own dreams, you will create your own starry night." And so graduates, today, as you begin a new series of small steps, what kind of steps will you take? With whom will you step? Where will you step? What will be your starry night? What will be your next great thing? One last thing, it's kind of personal. Remember Sophie, my little girl? Well, when I had her a year ago, my body didn't recover well. Just like she is learning to balance now, I had to do the same. There were times, even in the last few months, where I have also held onto anything and everything to maneuver around a room. When I have looked around for an adult, it wasn't to celebrate me, but it was to see if there would be anyone available if I collapsed. Everything about taking steps felt unstable. And unstable made me feel unsafe, and unsafe is scary. So I got help. Something was actually wrong. My doctor was able to make my unstable steps feel secure and stable and safe. Graduates, you have decades yet to live. So if you find yourself in a place where your forward steps begin to be unstable or misstepped, my hope for you is in those moments you stop stepping, that you regain your balance, that you evaluate the direction in which you are stepping, with whom you are stepping, and where you are stepping, even if that means getting help, so you too can feel secure and stable and safe as you step and step and step and step to your next great thing. Graduates, it's time to take some final steps. Board Member Ada Wilson, I certify that all of the graduates have completed all of the requirements as set forth by Alpine School District and the Board of Education to graduate at this ceremony.